Hi guys, welcome back to the Thriving Inside Out community where we talk about manifestation, health and wealth. In today's video, I'm talking about one of the most important steps of the manifestation process, which is letting go. If you've been into the law of attraction for a while, you've heard that term in many ways: trust and surrender, let go, cut cords, detachment. Always mean the same thing, and it's letting go. So if you want to know how to let go and little tricks about it and why it's so important, then keep on watching. So first thing first, why is letting go one of the most crucial steps of the manifestation process? Well, first thing that helps me conceptualize that is that we need to be in the attraction point, and you are the attraction point. So in all times we need to keep the focus on our well-being, on our alignment within, in order to be a match with the energy we're manifesting. And for that, there's no place for resistance. So that's why we need to let go, because when we try to control the outcomes, when we try to control how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen and how it should happen, then we are controlling the manifestation, which is not our job. And that creates resistance, because structure, control and power, it's masculine energy. And to be aligned, we need both energies to be balanced. So we need the structure, we need the plan, we need the control, but on the things we control and we can control. And when we talk about manifestation, this is our thoughts, our emotions, our vision, all of those things. But the how, the when, that's not our job. We are tiny humans in the whole infinite universe. So thinking that we know the best way how that thing is going to show up and how it should show up and when it needs to show up, then we're literally putting our manifestation into a box and blocking all the other possibilities that it could happen, because we never know how it can. And to have lived many manifestations in my life, the thing that I'm always surprised is how it comes and when it comes and in the forms it comes, because it's always unexpected, and most of the time it's better than what I thought, and the timing is even better. So that's why it's so important to bring up the feminine energy, to trust and surrender and let go, because as we keep creating resistance, we keep holding ourselves back from receiving the thing. So I wonder how quick you can really release the need and the necessity of that manifestation coming into a certain plan. Because yes, it's important to have that vision, to know what you want, but again, the most important part is to act as if you already have it and then release it into the universe. And if we talk about that a little bit, one thing that blew my mind as I shifted my perspective on that is that we here all along act as if you already have it in order to receive it. And that means that you have let go and you feel that it's already done. That's what we want when we talk about letting go, is believing and thinking inside your mind as the thing you're manifesting is already done, it's already yours, so you don't have no more resistance about it. And still, even though I understood that concept, it didn't fully integrate yet until I realized what I'm gonna share with you. So the way I realized it is through my fitness journey, and when I had my big physical transformation. And I realized that because at first I always thought about food. I always thought, oh my god, I should not eat this, oh I ate too much, maybe next time I'm not gonna eat this, oh tomorrow I'm gonna cut this, blah 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 blah. I was always controlled by how much food I was eating and what food I was eating, and I still kept having no results. The moment I stopped having those conversations in my mind, the moment I stopped having resistance with food, and that I really aligned myself, and now that I have the body that I always wanted, I have no problem with food. I eat when I want to eat, I eat what I want to eat, I listen to my body. If I eat too much, I stop. I just listen, and I just do it in a way that's aligned for me, but it's not something that controls me anymore. And that's when I realized it. As if I would have understood that I already had that body, I would not have those thoughts. I would not create that resistance, because if you already have it, you don't ask yourself when it's gonna happen, what should I do for it to happen faster. You already have it. So act as you have it. It's just not showing up and doing the daily actions, but it's showing up in your mind as if you already have it. So you don't ask yourself the questions of the version of you who doesn't have it. Like, oh, I'm excited to have it, I can't wait for it to happen, maybe it's gonna happen faster. What things could I do for it to be faster, or for it to be quicker, or for it to be easier? Those kind of questions, if you ask yourself that on a daily basis while manifesting your thing, you're still thinking from the version of you who doesn't have it yet. So how can you shift your perspective and receiving that energy of you already having it? And a little trick like that, when you have those kind of questions, is to stop, breathe out that resistance, and then take a few minutes, a few seconds to imagine in your mind how it feels if you already have the thing, and what it would look like if you receive it right now, if you have it in your hands, if you see it through your eyes. Think of those things, take a few seconds to receive the energy. Because the thing about letting go and surrendering and trusting about the feminine energy is the receiving energy. And once we've created the plan and we give our intention to the universe, it's already done. Then we have to stay and align ourselves into the receiving mode. And for that, we have to train our mind to come back to the receiving energy, of coming back to the energy of already having it. And it's a process for sure. So now I'm gonna share with you some tips and tricks if you feel like the resistance is still creeping up in your life, although you've tried all of those things of letting go. So the first thing, and one thing that is really important for the step of letting go, is forgiveness. So we don't realize that sometimes that frustration, that resistance, that resentment of not having things and feeling like we don't have it, and why we don't have it, and this person has it and we don't, and all of those kind of emotions that create resistance within us. The first thing is to take a moment to look at your life, to look at the people in your life, and to look at yourself and see where there's still resistance. And sometimes it's not even linked to the thing we're trying to manifest, but keeping resentment in our life creates a separation between the love we can feel within us, which can help us a lot in the manifestation process. So I think that has helped me a lot to alleviate that resistance, that kind of resentment, that kind of friction within me, is to take time to really forgive the people, the situations, any circumstances that has created resistance within me in the past. Because if we keep acting up from the resistance and let the resistance come back to our life, then we're just acting from the past, so we're creating the same results. and I'm gonna touch up on that later. But that's one thing to really help you do that. And there's multiple ways. There's cord cutting method that you can look up on other videos. There's the Ho'oponopono meditations. There's you imagining that you forgive the person, the people, or any situation in your life that has created that resistance, and even yourself. Maybe you can take the time to forgive yourself when you let that resistance come back into your life, and forgive yourself for everything that you feel is creating resistance within you. And one thing about forgiveness that I hear a lot of people or clients say to me is like, oh yeah, but they were wrong, or it was wrong, or this or that. And yeah, sometimes we live things or people do things to us that we don't deserve and that are not right at all. But as long as we keep thinking that, we're giving power to them to keep that resistance in our life. So as long as you keep holding the grudges, you keep hurting yourself, because the other person or the situation is past. Maybe the other person doesn't even think about that or don't care about that, but we are the ones creating the resistance again and again in our lives in the moment. So as fast as you decide to shift your perspective and see that actually the things that person did to you, or the things that happen, always for you to work through that so you can level up and go to another step in your life. Because that's what I realized. And when I shifted my perception, instead of thinking that people or things happen to me and instead happens for me, then it shifts everything. Because the hurdles, the hard situations, the hard discussion, or the hard relationships that I had in my life, they happen for me, and for me to be able to go through them in order to see something bigger and better on the other side. And without that, I wouldn't look that way, or I wouldn't have to look through it to discover more. I would be blindsided by other things, but because it happens for me and it happened in my life, I had the possibility to work through it and grow from it. So that's one thing that I highly recommend. Do a little inventory of where you feel the most resistance, whether it's relationships, whether it's within yourself, and allow yourself to forgive and let it go, because everything is intertwined. That's one thing that I realize the most as I go into personal development more and more. Everything is intertwined, so sometimes the resistance we feel in one situation comes from a long way back of another resistance from another situation with people not even linked to that situation. So let our body guide us to the root and really dissolve it, because the good thing about the past, it's something that I really like to say, the good thing about the past, it is already gone. And today, right now, that problem doesn't exist really. It's gone. It's in the past. So why not leave it in the past and start fresh and anew from there? So that's something that's crucial for your manifestation process. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath in and release, because I got too much excited and I felt too much things wanted to go at the same time, and it created a little resistance within me. So let's have another breath all together and exhale and let it go. It's in the team. And that's another trick, thinking about that, is when I start to feel tension or resistance, even though it was excitement, tension, still I felt there was too much energy trying to get up the same way, so it created a blockage within me. I was not breathing as deeply as I could, so I take moments to really feel the resistance, breathe in the resistance, and let it go. Tip. After that, the law of detachment. I want to talk about the law of detachment, but in a really specific way, and it's how Deepak Chopra writes about it in his book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Guys, if you haven't read that book yet, go on Amazon after this video. I'm gonna link it down below. Take it for your Audible. Just come in contact with it and read it or listen to it. It's amazing and it's short, to the point. It's really not a long book, so it's gonna take you, like, if you're pretty sure you could finish it in one day. In Audible, it took me 3 days, and I listened to it like little parts here and there throughout my 3 days, and I finished it. I think the whole total time of listening was 1 hour and 20 minutes, around that. So it's a really easy read, but a really powerful read as well. It was amazing. Well, and about that, he talks about the law of detachment. And why I want to mention it today is because the way he explained it, it blew my mind. Blew my mind. So, as we all know, we're conditioned to think, to feel, and to act a certain way since our childhood, and we have conditioned beliefs, behaviors, and everything that comes from our past. And because of that, that's why it can be difficult to get out of our comfort zone, because as we know all of those behaviors, as we know all of those things, we are comfortable in them. And that's why sometimes when we integrate change into our life, it becomes difficult because we're trying to break free from the comfort zone, and then our ego gets scared and doesn't understand, because anything outside of a comfort zone, our ego sees as a risk and keeps us in survival mode to stay in our comfort zone. But in reality, the truth is that everything we want, it's outside of our comfort zone. Because if it was not outside of our comfort zone, we would already have it. So if it was in the comfort zone, I would already have $1 million business, I would already have a beach house in Los Angeles. I would already have it if it was here. But I know it's not, because it's not present. So I need to do things that I'm not used to do, and that I need to learn things that I don't know yet in order to get those things. And because of that, the way he said it is, as we keep living in the comfort zone, we keep living in the past. And that blew my mind. And it's kind of obvious, but the way he said it is like, oh, if I choose my comfort zone every day, then I'm choosing creating what I know from the past, which is my reality right now. And if I'm manifesting that thing that I want, then it's not here and it's not in the past. So I have to choose to be okay with the unknown. And it comes from the law of detachment, saying what I was saying in the beginning of the video. We don't know how it's gonna happen, and we have to be okay with not knowing when and how, because as fast as we feel excited about that, that's when we let go of the control of knowing it. And as you choose to be excited about the unknown, that's where all possibilities exist. Literally, the only place where all possibilities exist, it's in the things we don't know. Because the things we know, we already know the possibility, it is what it is. Outside of that, it could be anything. And for me, when I understood that, instead of seeing the unknown as scary, even though my brain is gonna trick me to think it's scary still because we don't know where we're going yet, it makes me aware of shifting my perspective. And instead of automatically feeling fear of being uncomfortable, being like, oh, because I feel fear, it means I'm going the right way. Because it means right now, if I feel fear, it's because I don't know where I'm going. And since I don't know, all possibilities exist. And it's exciting. For me, it's exciting. And one thing that one of my teachers, Darren Miller, said once, and that I was like, oh my god, he asked us, is there really a difference between feeling fear and feeling excited, or it's just the name we give it? And it's true. We feel, oh, I got a knot in my stomach, or I have butterflies. But in a way, it's the same feeling. So for me, every time I feel fear, I'm like, instead of saying, oh my god, I feel fear, or I'm afraid, I'm like, oh my god, I'm excited. And because of that reframe, it gives me the opportunity of understanding that because I'm feeling that, it means that all possibilities exist, and that's amazing, because I'm gonna be more surprised than I thought I could be. And yeah, so the second part about letting go, it's becoming one with the unknown, and knowing that as you understand and feel the excitement from not knowing, then you know you already let go of the resistance. Because the only way we create resistance as human, it's because we don't see it in our reality. So we start stressing about when it's gonna happen, how, and oh my god, should I do that? Should I not do that? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then we bring up the resistance just because we don't see it in our physical world. But as you've integrated the fact that it's already done, you can open yourself to all possibilities and receive it in the most spectacular, exciting way you could not even have imagined. And maybe as fast as you let it go, as quick it can come to your life. And actually it's not maybe, it's surely. So yeah, so think just for a second at the moments, and I know you've probably lived situations where you're trying to force a thing and oh, you said, oh my god, I'm over it, and you let it go, and once you decided to just let it go because you were over it, that thing actually happened into your life. And I know you have different situations that comes like that. Maybe it's not a car that appeared or something as big, but it could be an opportunity, it could be a conversation, it could be something you wanted small in your life. So think about that, and now think about where you're creating resistance and how fast you can shift it now that you know those two things, which are crucial for the step of letting go. One, forgiving anything linking you to the past so you can free yourself. And secondly, being okay with the unknown in front of you so you can create the most bright, beautiful future. So you can always be in the present moment where all possibilities exist, with no attachment from the past and no attachment from the future, and just receiving whatever it is coming your way. That's it. That's about it for this video. And let me know in the comments below what part blew your mind most, the past or the future, or both, because for me those big realizations helped me a lot in my manifestation process in order to be where I need to be, which is aligned with myself, within me, and in the present moment, because that's where all there is. Literally, that's all there is. Really, it's right now. And now I hope you have a wonderful day, week, hour, second, and that you do everything in your power so you can be thriving from the inside out in all aspects in your life. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye.